garantizamos un entorno seguro. Estamos felices de volver a...
So I just had 4 tacos, one of chicken, one of pastor, which is pork, and then 2 other ones, picadillo and chicharron beans, and a large coffee, all for the price of 40 pesos, which is $2 US. So that was a pretty nice way to start the day. San Juan del Rio is a city of about 300,000 inhabitants, located on the country's central plateau, 50 kilometers southeast of the state capital, Santiago de Queretaro, with an elevation of 1,922 meters. Although famous for its opals mined at nearby La Trinidad, it is also an agricultural center, producing corn, wheat, sugarcane, beans, alfalfa, fruit, and livestock. A number of wineries are also located in the vicinity. The city was founded on the feast of St. John the Baptist on June 24, 1531, by Fernando de Tapia, an Otomi chieftain that converted to Catholicism and dropped his native name Conan. San Juan was one of the first Spanish settlements outside the Valley of Mexico, and thus marked the beginning of the colonization of northern and western Mexico, including the city of Queretaro, which was founded 1 month later. The settlement became important since it was an obligated stop for the rich mining regions of Guanajuato, Zacatecas, and San Luis Potosi. In what now occupies the municipal area of San Juan del Rio, on the bank of the river that bears the same name, discoveries of the ancient Otomi culture, who have the ancestry of Chupiquaro, have been found. Legacies indicating that the area was inhabited around 400 BC. The ancient settlers were sedentary gatherers, carriers of a complex culture and way of life. It is considered one of the oldest social organizations in the Mexican highlands. The Otomi culture made very important advances, especially in the cultivation of maize, beans, pumpkin, and agave. The Otomi, after having great advantages in agriculture, were grouped in the region around the hill Techimasit, today Barrio de la Cruz, in the glen that forms the riverbed. They built their houses, forming the village they called Ish Tachichimecapan, which means land of white chichimecas, and whose chief was Meshisi, who later had the Christian name of John. The year San Juan del Rio was founded as a village of Indians has been debated, and was either in 1526 or 1531. But June 24th has been agreed to as the date it was founded, this day being the feast of San Juan Bautista, and because it remained on the banks of the flowing river, it usually had the suffix of the river, hence the name San Juan del Rio. It is around this date that the city fair is held annually, in which bullfights, games, concerts, and other cultural events take place. San Juan del Rio is sometimes confused with Santiago de Queretaro, a frontier of safeguarding during the confrontation between the Chichimeca groups, who were then called barbarians, and the viceroyal expansionism. Later, the two cities were the middle grounds between Zacatecas and San Luis Potosi, mining hubs with Mexico City. Once the village was founded and conquered, constructive work during the 16th century was restricted to the scope of the organization of the town and to solve certain immediate problems. One of the first urban elements of community was the construction of the bridge over the San Juan River, which practically left the population not being able to communicate with each other during the rainy season. This case concerned both the San Juanan population and the interests of the viceroyal government, mainly because it was a place of transit and rest for the constant travelers with silver shipments who came from the north to Mexico City. The bridge that alleviated the problem is attributed to Fray Sebastián Aparicio and was built in 1561. Today, Benito Juárez Avenue in front of the municipal pantheon. Since traffic over the bridge was constant, in 1621 it had to be rebuilt. At the beginning of the 18th century, at the behest of the viceroyal government, the bridge was again rebuilt, resulting in a much stronger and more colorful bridge than the previous two, built on 5 arches and quarry plates that to date remain in place. This bridge was completed on the 23rd of January 1722 in the rule of the Duke of Linares. In addition to this relevant urban element, churches, temples, and convents began to gain ground with their respective ideological influence. The old town of San Juan del Rio is similar to that of Queretaro. In 1670, the first school of letters for girls was formalized, receiving the name Beaterio de Nuestra Señora de los Dolores, founded by the Third Sisters of the Order of San Francisco, which in 1683 was reorganized by the Venerable Dre Antonio Margil de Jesus, known as the patron saint of Texas. In 1672, the hospital and convent of San Juan de Dios was founded, for the care of the sick in the city and the visitors who stopped in its path. Today this building is occupied worthily by the autonomous University of Queretaro. On April 3rd of 1847, and in the context of the war between Mexico and the United States, the state government granted the then Villa of San Juan del Rio the title of city. By 1855, industry and trade had a major boost. Among the most important establishments were barbershops, carpentry, rocket shops, tanneries, breweries, blacksmiths, wheat mills, soap pilas, cotton trapiches, bakeries, silverware, painting workshops, tailors, hat shops, woodworking, wool and blanket looms, battering shops, shoe shops, etc. In 1863, Benito Juárez, on his escape to San Luis Potosi, stayed overnight in San Juan del Rio. And in 1867, Maximilian of Habsburg launched one of his last proclamations in this city, in which he exhorted the people to defend the independence and the internal order of the country. Later on, the hill of the bells of the city of Queretaro was shot with General Miramon and Mella. In the last decade of the 19th century, San Juan del Rio participated in the railway development by laying the track of the Mexican National Railway, and years later, when the roundhouse for the repair of steam engines was located in this city. During the period of 1960 to 1970, San Juan del Rio began its urban, economic, and social transformation, of the strong impetus given to the industrializing, commercial, and communications process. Factors that have currently placed this municipality as the second most important in the state of Querétaro. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I have many more videos of this part of Mexico in the playlist that is linked in the description below this video. You'll also find a link to another playlist of when I bicycled through Mexico. That was part of a larger trip, bicycling through Latin America. I've also bicycled through Eastern Africa and Central and Eastern Europe, and I have playlists for all those countries that I've bicycled through available on this very same YouTube channel, Hum of the Earth. Alternatively, if you'd like to see an interactive map of everywhere that I've been and all the things that I got to see and do, I have that interactive map available over on my website, followthehumoftheearth.com. Where you can click on the different locations and see all the blog posts and videos that I've made of those places. And if you'd like to follow my continuing adventures through Mexico and beyond, you can do so by clicking on the red subscribe button and clicking on the bell to be notified when new videos come out. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.
Vamos a ver, vamos a que te